Hello, I'm Benwin Bronzebottom, celebrity dwarf and video game enthusiast, and this is my sidekick, Crowy.
Hello.
Quiet, you. I'm here to tell everyone about Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. It's a Dungeons & Dragons-based strategy game from Codename Entertainment.
It's a management game with an emphasis on formation strategy, where you assemble parties of legendary heroes and send them on adventures through the Forgotten Realms.
Heroes? Crowy, don't you mean champions?
Players unlock legendary champions of the Forgotten Realms, like Dritz Duerden and the Companions of the Hall, Farida and Havilar from the Brimstone Angels saga, and many more. Assemble the best adventuring party possible based on your formation options, champion abilities, and the obstacles and enemies you face.
Or just smash your mouse button repeatedly like I do and hope for the best.
Each champion has an incredible array of skills and items to let you customize your style and play even further.
Farther. Farther means more distant, further is figurative.
Well, I meant more distant, but figuratively.
That's forther.
Well, customize your style even further, because Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms is available on all your favorite gaming platforms. Steam for PC and Mac, Web, Epic Game Store, PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Nintendo Switch, iOS tablets, and Android devices.
Well, let me know when it comes to the BlackBerry. I'm not giving up that phone. It's the only keyboard I can use.
I hear it's coming to the smart fridge next spring.
In the frozen mountains of the north, you have come to end the terror of the Grimfang King and his army of raiders. The biting wind has slowed your pace as you approach the mountain hold. The air is painful to breathe, the snow thick and unyielding. You draw close. Distant torches lighting the icy ground. A rank odor fills your nostrils. The shouts of orcs fill your ears. Great beasts roar and slam against their bonds. You ready your weapons and prepare your attack. Battle is about to commence. Epic encounters. Turn your RPG up to 11.
We have done it! 5 years of planning and thinking before the dream finally came true. A team of 12 dedicated professional developers and internet marketers who desperately love board games put in 17 months of hard work. And now, we are proud to present to you Tabletopia, the digital platform to publish and play any kind of board games. It is the most sophisticated virtual table in terms of functionality, aesthetics, and usability. We integrated everything that was conceivable to recreate the feeling of playing on a real table. And at the same time, we implemented a lot of tools to facilitate playing life hacks. Setting up the game, dealing cards, shuffling decks, etc. takes only a fraction of a second. And the same holds true for creating your very own game. It takes only a couple of seconds to create any game objects from standard print version graphics. Just drag and drop your files, borrow whatever else will be necessary from our extensive library of free game objects and place them on the table. Your game is ready. And now, playtest, demonstrate your game, make videos, or even earn money with your game. Tabletopia is a full-scale ecosystem for publishing digital versions of board games. But of course, the main focus of our project is to allow players around the world to play remotely with their friends or find worthy opponents here. And we are speaking about literally thousands of games and their variations. Many leading publishers and game authors have joined us already, and from day one, you will be able to play many popular games. But this is only the beginning. Ahead of us are a lot of new cool system features, new games, and millions of hours of fun. So stay tuned, subscribe to our newsfeed, and be ready to jump in. Tabletopia, where board games go digital.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Gary Con's Ethereal Road to Gary Con. This is part of the Painting Happy, or I was going to say Painting Happy Lamenting, my old show. I got right into it. I'm your host, Tabletop Santa, or you can call me Rick. We are painting the Epic Encounters Lair of the Red Dragon today as part of the Road to Gary Con. As you can see in the overhead camera, I've already done some prep work on it.
1 second, Rick. Hold on. Static on the stream end.
One, two.
All right, try again.
Hi, everybody. Are we sounding better? Let us know if the audio sounds better there. Awesome. So this is the Epic Encounters Red Dragon. And what I did, you'll notice a difference between one wing and the other in that I took because the dragon was already red and they already had gold as part of the treasure pile beneath it. I didn't want to you don't have to waste a lot of time repriming it unless you want to, obviously, and take time and put your own styling to it. So what I did is I took a flat, matte, clear primer and I primed it with that. And then I washed it with some heavy tone or dark tone by Army Painters right here. Or you can put it under here as well. The Army Painter Quick Shade Dark Tone. And so that it would leach into those cracks, because this has a lot of definition to it. So lots of cracks and crevices to help the model pop out. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this wing with the dark tone so that you can see again so I'm actually going to detach the wing and put the model on the side. And we're just going to throw some dark tone on this wing. And then we're going to go over it and we're going to do some dry brushing and some highlighting and some detail work. And this miniature will probably be done by the end of the episode, which I'm pretty excited about, because we haven't been able to completely finish a model yet on an episode, because they have been pretty big models. And for everybody watching, after this is over today, after we're done painting miniatures, you get to watch paint dry with me. We have at 2 p.m. PST a game called Heroes of Doom with the GM being Todd Kenrick, and the one of the players is Luke Gygax himself. And there are many others. And then after that is the Search for Gaxmore Part 3, part of the series as part of for the Road to Gary Con, with Jason Charles Miller and the Wild Bunch. They haven't called themselves the Wild Bunch. I just call them the Wild Bunch because they're a bunch of really fun our peers and role players. And so make sure you're also following those programs this afternoon and evening, because they are a blast. So yeah, I'm just putting the dark tone on this, and while this dries, we'll go to work on the main model itself. And this is, again, I don't paint for competitive painting or anything like that. So I except for speed paint, I like speed paint events. Just because everybody's on the same playing field and you get the same model, same time, all that stuff. I do enjoy those. But I paint for tabletop. So I want it to look good from 3 feet away. That's my mantra. If it looks good at 3 feet away, I am a happy camper with the paint I've done. All right. How's everybody's week gone? A lot of fun stuff, announcements in the gaming industry, because the Gamma Expo was going on this week, a virtual expo, which was really fun. Hearing what all the different publishers are announcing and new games and product coming out. I don't know if y'all heard yet, but WizKids has got a life-size Dritz Duorden statue coming, like they've done with other, made out of the same kind of material as they've done with like the trophies. The Red Dragon trophy had the Beholder, the Mind Flare Lithid. So they're doing it like that, but it's life-sized, which is ridiculous. Hey, what's up, Zerathon and everybody in chat? I just want to say hi as well. Good to see everyone here. All right, so we've got this. The wing has been pretty saturated with the tone. It's leached into all the spots. I'm gonna let it dry, and then we'll come back and do the details, and I'll add it to the dragon and everything. But also, just to give you a look at the box that this comes in, it's a pretty big box for the Epic Encounters, and it also comes with 16 Firebrand Cobalt tokens, 2 Lava Pool tokens, a double-sided game mat, the Adventurer's Book, obviously the monster stats, and tips and tricks to building an exciting and tension-focused encounter, which is always fun. You know, keeping your players on the edge of their seats, whether they paid for them or not. Howdy, sir. I hope you're having a good afternoon. I am having a good afternoon. Thank you for asking. And here we go. We're gonna get to the main body of the dragon here. So I pulled out some Vallejo game color, the Rojo Sanguinea, or the Bloody Red, and the oh, I got 2 Bloody Reds. I thought I had a lighter one. They fooled me. Flat red. There we go. Sorry. And let me see what else I've got in my case over here for reds. I think those will work. All right. So we're going to go ahead and, the thing about, paint, you got to get it shaken up and well mixed before you, put it to your palette. There we go. And Wave 14, WizKids minis are coming out. I'm excited about that too. Epic Encounters or Steamforged talked about their next 2 sets in the Epic Encounter line are coming out, which I was like, again, super stoked to see. There's like a serpent one, a giant serpent, and a giant spider set coming out. So that was ridiculous news. The spider kind of looks like the giant spider from Lord of the Rings, if you're familiar with all that, yeah. Hey, what's up, Vorpal Thad? How are you? So everybody, Vorpal Board is a platform that I'll be using at GaryCon. That is gonna be for the games I'm running, and which will be a lot of fun. Because I'm actually going to be running, and there's still open slots left where you can come on and you can play any of the Epic Encounter games that are currently out. So it's the kobolds, the goblins, the red dragon, the hydra, the orcs, and of course I think the frost giant. Yeah. So I'll be running all 6 of those over the weekend, which is crazy to think it's just next weekend. Oof. I hope everybody's ready for all the excitement, because it's going to be wild. And I'm sure that there's tons more announcements that'll be coming out about, all the different streams that you'll be able to watch. Right. So yeah, all I'm doing is I'm taking the blood red and I'm just going over all the high points of the model, like on the wings here, on the main flat areas first, because those are the larger surface areas, and they doesn't even nearly need to be as dry brushed. Just getting over those high surface areas so that they pop out on the model. And I'm not sure how well that is really showing off in the light, but it is getting rid of some of the, if you see the difference between this part of the wing here compared to this part where there's still a lot of like the dark ink that I put on there earlier. And I don't want that dark ink on the high points of the model. So just going back over it with a rapid brush. And like I said, it doesn't have to be a traditionally totally dry brush technique. Just do it over the high ridges against the grain. So, so I'll do it this way, right? I'm not going to brush this way because then you'll get in the cracks and you'll lose the effect that the ink or the tone, the dark tone is providing. And you don't want to lose that. But yeah, anybody currently painting anything in their line? How about you, Jeff? You doing any?
Not currently. The line is many miniatures long that I need to get done, but time. So
yeah. Okay. No, I feel you. Are you working on any terrain? Because I know you've spoken in the past that's kind of a thing you are you really like to work on is terrain.
I've got some plans. I'm trying to work out a portal into hell type of design.
Mm-hmm.
It's I've got the idea in my head. It's just trying to make it come to life via the material. So.
Oh, okay, that's cool. A portal into the plains of hell.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Just a happy little portal to hell.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I have a portal if you ever want to use it. It's a portal potty. It looks like an outhouse, but it'll take you anywhere you need to go.
Oh God.
It'll take you anywhere. It's a really good portal potty. It's protected by a Golgothan.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I made a little like one-shot event where a party of adventurers were called into this village because they kept having like random creatures just kind of pop up in their town. And what had happened is a wizard got drunk at the tavern and then put a cast like portal and permanency on the outhouse, thus creating the portal potty. And it was basically, just a random encounter like roll of what would come through the portal based on, if a creature somewhere in the realms or beyond was walking through any portal, whether it was magical or not, if they walked through a portal, there was a potential that it would, pop into and go through the portal potty. And now you're in this small village and they didn't know how to handle it, obviously. So in come the adventurers to figure out that it's literally the porta potty that's the the issue.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was just for fun and laughs, and it definitely got those. All right, so I mean, as far as like the doing a rapid dry brush over all the high points on the model, that's pretty good right now. Again, I know the lighting is a little like you probably can't see all of it, but it definitely looks a lot different than what the wing, where it's just a solid red plastic that it was. So now what I'm going to do is while that wing over there is actually still drying, I'm going to go ahead and do some of the detail work on here. So the red dragon's head has some teeth, obviously. So we're gonna go and do the teeth. We're gonna do the horns, and there's even some horn bits on the back spine here. And of course, as any dragon, the wings have the like the little like spurs and claws and spikes. So we're gonna paint those, and there's some on the back of the like the elbow and the nails, the claws of the dragon. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the model color from Vallejo. I'll be using the yellow ochre because I want them to be like kind of like that yellowed bone. And then again, I'll go back and I'll do some dry brushing and stuff on it too. And then another little wash to make that pop out even more and give it good separation on the model. So, and I always expect like a dragon's horns to kind of be a little yellowed as they've aged, you know. So, and yellow on here is definitely going to be a good like pop contrast to the reds before I go back and hit it with maybe some white on the top parts and throw some darker colors into the, you know, a wash into those recesses, and it'll be a happy little mini, you know, just a really calm miniature, you know, building community around a red dragon as one should, a happy community. Channel our inner Bob Ross. And one of the things I thought I was going to do with this, and that's why I want to do like a dark tone, is because, you know, red dragons are always, you know, they always say like they can be found near volcanoes and, you know, active like seismic rifts and where there's lots of fire potential, right? And with fire comes ash and that, you know, that black volcanic ash. And, you know, I figured that's what would really be in the crevices of the and around the dragon anyways would be a lot of that ash. So why not use a darker tone to give it that representation? You know, I'm going to pop this other wing off. And just so y'all know, this is the only model so far in the Steamforged line that is, you have to assemble it with putting the wings on it. All the other ones come pre-assembled fully. All right, here we go. So yeah, we're just going to put some ochre yellow on the horns, the claws, and all the little like spiky bits on this beautiful dragon. And we will come back and detail those as well. And like I said, because this, you know, because it is a red dragon, we've done most of the good work on it. We don't have to, you know, we don't have to waste a lot of time in the episode painting it just red, which would have been like, and then waiting for that to dry. Ugh, that would have been just painful. Watching a red dragon's red scales dry for 45 minutes. Ugh. And I would actually like to think, because to tell you the truth, it wasn't my idea to do it like this. A buddy of mine, who's also an amazing painter, was like, he was just talking about like what he would do. And I was like, oh, I should absolutely do that for time considerations and just another like tool one can use in their toolbox. Because here's a cool thing about the models that are here in the Epic Encounters line is they are all like a color coded. So like all the kobolds are already red. So you could literally do the whole same thing with them, is prime them with that clear matte, which will hold paint afterwards, right? And then come back and just do the detail work on it. The goblins are green plastic, so you could do it with that. And the only ones that aren't like are the orcs. The orcs are like a light powder baby blue. And so I probably wouldn't I probably wouldn't do them so much, because unless I wanted them to be, Arctic orcs that have a blue skin tone, then I would, and I probably will actually, now that I think about it, because they're riding polar bears, they're part of the frost giant thing. So why not change their skin tone out from the traditional like gray, greenish orc tones to that blue. They've adapted and kind of become part of their environment. Their skin tone changes for ease of hiding in the environment that they're living in. So yeah, I may do that. I made the mistake with the goblins of priming them all with like a white or gray sear primer. So I do have to go and paint them fully, even though again they already had green paint or model plastic, which would have just been like a quicker step for me if I would have thought about it. But I didn't, and that's okay. They're still gonna be fun to paint. I've already painted some of them. The dart frogs. So every set of minion boxes comes with 4 mounted miniatures, and so the kobolds are riding like salamanders or fire snakes. The goblins are riding like giant dart frogs, and they look so good. And of course, like I said, the orcs are riding polar bears. Again, amazing polar bears, right? How crazy is that? All right. I don't know why, but the my Google thing closed, and I had to reopen Twitch so I can see the chat. So if you are watching, please chat with me. I'd like to talk to you guys. I see there's like 31 of you here. If you're working or something, I understand. But if you're here, talk to me. Tell me what was the first D&D module you ever played? Back, or what was your first game session like? Your first character? Tell me all the good stuff. What's your favorite monster? So that's a conversation I need to have with Steamforge. Is I need them to make a box set with my favorite monster minion type in it, because they haven't done it yet. Can you take a guess of what it is, Jeff?
I don't know. I know my favorite is the Beholder, but
okay. Well, for me, Beholder, I put Beholder in like that big bad / maybe mid-sized bad guy position. So I'm talking like legit minions, like goblins, orcs, and kobolds, but maybe a little bit bigger.
Really making my brain work. Oh man, that's a tough pull to narrow down out of.
For most people, they would almost say that, well, that seems to be it. There aren't too many others, right? That are like the traditional minion bad guys, right?
That's true.
I'll give you a hint. They use pack tactics.
Oh, kobolds?
No, kobolds. They already make kobolds.
Oh, they do. Okay.
Yep.
Huh.
Again, think bigger. A bigger creature that uses pack tactics, but yet are kind of considered minions.
Gnolls?
Gnolls, yes.
Yeah. Regular gnoll.
Yeah, I love gnolls. Gnolls are so good. They are. I think they're just amazing. Where pack tactics can be super deadly if used right, as far as on the GM side, but because you can have a Flind or a taskmaster or a pack leader, and they get a little stronger every time. They get a little bit of a boost in what the position is in the pack, and it's like, oh yes, they're so good. Dire wolves are awesome too. I would love to see some dire wolves in the Epic Encounters line as well. There's so many monsters. There's so many great things. Let's see. Too bad Brian Berg isn't here. He'd love that conversation talking about favorite characters. Nice.
Yeah, it would. Everybody always, you get a chance to talk to Brian Berg, talk to him about your characters.
All right. Is that his thing, or does he not like that?
Hey, he gets so much of it that he's like,
Okay.
he likes talking with people and likes hearing about game stuff, but he gets inundated with character backstories all the time. So
Okay. Stephen McFarland says, my first adventure was against the Giants. I'm painting a bunch of Reaper Wayne Reynolds fire giants currently. So Stephen, that was my first module too, was G1, 2, and 3 against the Giants back in 1982. And it was awesome. And that, I think that is why I really like Giants in my campaigns. You know, I'd almost say, and it might be an unpopular opinion, but I prefer Giants as my big bad minions or big bad over dragons. If you think about, the traditional Dungeons and Dragons theme, granted, I love dragons, but Giants are just so good. Well, my favorite PC is a Rune Knight, Fighter, Totem, Barbarian, great damage, tank, a fun time. Nice. Yes. Hello from Finland. Played D&D first time couple of weeks ago. Nice. But have DM'd
Awesome.
a handful of times before that, and too many hours of watching couple of streams. Nice, Penny. Thank you. That's awesome. You just had your first play session where you were a player recently. That is great. It's kind of interesting that you were GMing before you actually were a player. But, that happens sometimes. When a group of people get together, someone has to do it. Someone has to be the first one.
yep.
So why not you? Would you like to know more?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I'm just getting right now what I'm doing is I'm going to find on the main body of the dragon here, I'm just going and finding the spiky bits and the claws, and I'm giving all those the initial base of the color I want the horns to be on this bad boy. And even on some of the spines on this back here, this one has these 3 spikes. So I was like, yeah, those could be just more horn protrusion. So I don't want them to be red. And plus I want more, having some color options on the model just for, making it pop and stand out is always nice, because sometimes the red dragons can literally just be, what they are with so much red on it. You kind of lose a little bit of the character, I think. So giving it, some option, a contrasting color is fun. He does not like it. He loves complaining about it. That's good to know. I will keep that in mind, and I'll drop that information on him. I have to get in one of your games sometimes. Oh yeah, my first D&D adventure was clearing rust monsters out of an alchemist's lab. Side note: storing potions in metal vials is not a great idea. Oh, I would agree, and that's but it's a fun idea, right? Because let's say you can't keep them in wooden vials or maybe even glass, because maybe the potion has got some sort of reaction to those compounds, so they have to put in some sort of metallic vial to keep it viable as a potion. But yeah, and then rust monsters get in there. Oh, bad day. So I like pairing rust monsters up with kobolds or goblins, but where they ride the rust monsters into battle, and they use little fishing poles with a line of some sort of ferrous metal as the lure to get them to go in the direction they need to go.
Oh man. Oh boy.
mean, can you imagine that being a party of like third level or lower, and you're going into a space and a bunch of kobolds come riding out on rust monsters.
That's when you go, nope. How did that retreat mechanic work again?
Yep. Hashtag expeditious.
Yep.
So I'm going to go ahead now, and what I'm going to put that same brown or ochre yellow on the spiky bits on the wings. Again, just for that contrast and separation, and adding a little character again to the dragon once we reattach the wings, and it'll be pretty cool.
Mm.
I'm super excited for next week. If you're in the chat and you have not yet gone and registered, if you've gotten a ticket but yet have not registered on Discord, so make sure you go do that. There are folks standing by to register you for the Discord and everything. So yeah, go make sure you get that done. Don't do it right now. Stay here. Talk to me. Ask questions.
Go do that in 90 minutes.
Right. And then come back and watch the other programs that are on all day. We don't want you to miss out on all the entertainment that has been provided today. Right. So yeah, if you haven't registered on Discord yet, please go do that when you get the opportunity. And then there are tons and tons of events and games that you can sign up for. So make sure that you go check that out as well. There are lots on there. I have lots of seats left open. I think the only one that has gotten full is the Goblin Village one, actually. I have 6 players for that already. So all the other ones are filled up. But yeah, I'll be running all the Epic Encounter boxes over the weekend. So find the one that you want to play in and sign up, and I'll see you at the table virtually, of course.
Hopefully next year at the actual table.
At the actual table, yes. That is the hope and the plan. And I think it's going to absolutely happen. I mean, like I said, some really amazing announcements did come out this week with some other conventions, like Gen Con has announced that they're going to be, I think it's September 19th, that week of September 19th. And then the following week is Origins was rescheduled for that week. And then if you're in Europe, Essen is the week after that, which is the big European tabletop convention.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I hope it would be nice for everything to get back to normal. I miss going to conventions. I don't miss all the traveling per se, but I do miss the conventions.
Yeah, I do too. It's kind of funny. Is like a lot of people that are gamers kind of ride an interesting line. I'm not saying everybody, and it may not be you, but I know that it is me. And I know others that are like me in that capacity where I am an extrovert, but I am an extrovert only in things I enjoy. Like I don't like going shopping at Walmart, so I don't want to go to Walmart, so I have my groceries delivered, right? Because I just don't like it. But I love going to conventions and being surrounded by 80,000 people that have the same likes and interests as I do, and sharing in the joy of that, of the hobby that we all love. And I could do that every weekend. But when I'm not at events like that, I don't really need 1,000 people around me or more than 10 people around me at any given time. And a lot of times, not more than one.
Yeah, right. I feel that one.
So it's kind of interesting because, the extrovert, introvert mindset, a lot of people talk about, you're an introvert, and I'll be like, nah, not on September 19th. I won't be. And if we were at a physical GaryCon, I absolutely wouldn't be an introvert. And I think that's just a fun little part of our hobby as well. We love being around our tribe. The paladin bravely led the retreat, screaming his war cry, "Nope." That is awesome. Hey, Gary Taniki, I hope I said that right. D&D fan, thanks for following the channel. Lots of great content going to be up here all day, so enjoy that. And King Bashman, welcome. Good to see you. And also Bread Samurai, thank you for the follow as well. If you're enjoying the content here, and if you're a fan of tabletop gaming and all of its different iterations, make sure to let your friends know and to come join the community, not just here, but also on Discord and YouTube. And because I saw you guys just launched your YouTube channel now, right? Yeah, I think it launched this week because there's only like 4 or 5 videos up, and they're all from the last 2 weekends of the Road to GaryCon. So it's got to be pretty new.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, so if you want to follow GaryCon on YouTube as well, that'd be good. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, it's everywhere. GaryCon's everywhere now. Yeah, but yeah, we get these spiky bits on the dragon wings taken care of. Then we'll go back to the main body and see what's the next step on that. As it's all been dried out on there now. Wings are looking amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. And, if you ever want to follow my shenanigans, I am Tabletop Santa on every social media platform, which is kind of funny how I got my name. I was originally known as Rick Rolls America because I was going, before the pandemic, my thing was I was going to be going around the United States visiting game stores and doing live stream content from their locations for 2020. That was like my big 2020 like thing I was going to do. And, that didn't work out. So I got on TikTok, and the TikTok community actually renamed me as Tabletop Santa, which I thought was really funny. And so I leaned into that name, and here we are. But I used to be on Game Trade and Media, which is the Alliance Game Distributors program, because I was the video production manager for Diamond Comic Distributors and Alliance Game Distributors for a number of years, and wanted to strike out on my own and have some fun in my twilight years. As I become this old venerable sage. And I will say, talk about a revolution, right? The whole growth of tabletop gaming over the last year, not just D&D, just in general, D&D especially though, has been like amazing. When you think about how many people are playing, how much more acceptance there is for the hobby amongst muggles. And I don't mean muggles in a derogatory term. I just mean muggles they're not in our space. I would have said mug bloods if I wanted. My daughter would, like, if she was wearing a pearl, she would clutch her neck and say, "Oh my God, Dad, why would you say such a thing? That's a bad word."
Blasphemy.
Yep, exactly. She'd be like, "Father." All right.
Why have thou forsaken me?
Yeah, she would have absolutely been like that. I would have been a traitor to the cause. All right. There we go. We'll let the wings do their thing. Set off to the side for a second. Now we're going to bring the main body back on the model. And I'm going to take that dark tone again, and I'm going to, no, you know what? No, dark tone might be too dark for that. So I'm going to use soft tone and I'm going to go back over all the bony protrusions and spikes and stuff on the dragon body to let it now leach back into those cracks and crevices and details so that it pops out on there as well. And I'm going to use a smaller brush for that. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. That looks pretty neat. I almost feel like I'm cheating when I use this because it like, you know, goes right into those cracks and crevices. It looks like I've done something really amazing in my own eyes. It's like, wow, that looks so good. And it just feels like I'm cheating because, you know, I'm just literally just wiping this over there. There's not a skill set I'm using. It's just like, stay in the lines on this. But you know, it's just funny, but it definitely makes a really cool marked difference in the horns because you are getting that shadowed effect in the cracks and crevices. It's you know, darker. It stains like a tea stain on the horn, and I just think it looks really neat. And then again, when I go back over it, once that dries and I come back over it, I want to take like a white or an eggshell white or a lighter yellow or tan over that and to hit those highlighted parts of it. And it's just going to pop out even more. And I think that's one of the fun things about miniature painting is as you are progressing, you know, you might get at one point in the model, you just be like, man, I'm just going to stop. This doesn't look good. I'm not really comfortable with it. All I would say is don't. It's like you're on the edge of the cliff, and that cliff is if you take one more step, it's a leap of faith and success. And the model after that point where you're like, ugh, begins to really take shape into what maybe your vision was, or what you would expect that creature or that thing that you're painting should look like. And then ta-da, you're almost done, you're done, bam, and it looks amazing. And like I said, for me, as long as it looks good at 3 feet away on a game table, I'm all right with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't sell these, you know, I'm not trying to paint for profit. So I don't sell them, and I don't use these like in competitions. So it doesn't have to be, you know, perfect. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of like new painters should take on board is it doesn't have to be perfect, and it won't be. And I said this last week and the week before, and again for anybody that's new to the stream and in the chat, is your first dozen models aren't going to be perfect. Even your first 50 may not be perfect, but they'll be gradually better. And as long as you're improving your skill set, you know, that's great. And eventually you'll be like, there are some painters that I don't know if their brushes are magical, but they can paint so fast and it looks so good. It's just, like I said, it's literally a spellbinding, you know, it just gets you in there and you're like, what? Jason Acevedo from Realmsmith is one of those guys. He's super fast and his models look so good when he's done. Dave Taylor is another one who's literally known for his ability to paint an amazing model in a short amount of time. But he's also one of those individuals that when he does take the time, he's an award-winning painter. All right, so yeah, I think that looks pretty good coming out with just the wash on there. Let me see if I can get a good shot on the head there in the camera. I don't know if that's gonna focus right on there. There we go. doesn't look too bad considering. I almost feel like I want to take some of this red, mix it with some white to get a little, not pink, but a lighter shade of red, and do some more like highlighting on the model. Which I think I may do. Just to get because I don't really have a lighter color red, really. There's a vermilion, but that's still kind of a darkish, you know. Yeah. And if anybody has any suggestions, because I'm all about learning new stuff all the time. So if you have any suggestions or any tips or tricks that you like to use, I'm all about hearing more.
I have nothing. I use the washes and stuff almost religiously because I'm lazy and like to make it do the things for me. So.
Oh no, I feel you. I feel you. All right, let's see how this is going to look in a. Like I said, I don't want to make it pink, just a lighter red on the palette here. Let's see how that looks on some of the higher ridges on like the face here. This scale here. Like I said, I just want to see if there's a little bit of if it's light enough, if it'll make some of that pop a little bit more on the scales. Like I would imagine, like if you're thinking again like object source lighting, if the light was coming down over the top and like the sun or whatever, those scales are going to be lighter. So blending this down into a lighter red for that maybe a thing that'll give that effect where it does have a little bit more, a little more pop, a little more separation, if you will. So, and I'm guessing on the camera, it probably isn't really popping off so much because of the way the lighting is for that. I don't know. That almost looks like it's changing it to a little bit of a purple. So I'm gonna do a hard brush to get rid of some of that. All right, and let's see how that looks. Yeah, you see how those three scales right there almost look purple. Compared to the rest of them. I don't like that. So the wonderful thing of painting miniatures is I can just paint over those. Right? You're like, I'm over that. And get rid of that purple effect that kind of jumped out on that. All right. And so I didn't want to do it like on a lot of the model. I just want to hit a little bit of the spot, see how we liked it. And that's another good thing about painting miniatures is you can always repair them with more paint.
Yeah, man.
It's a glorious thing. All right. So now I'm going to hit the teeth with that same ochre yellow. Just again. Oh, and I forgot. The one thing I've been looking at the body of the dragon so much that I kind of missed that on the face, the dragon also has these two like bony protrusions under its jaw here. which looks super cool now that I'm like focusing on that area. And then it has its teeth, which is also super cool. Sharpie, bitey points, lots of damage points. And then we got to name this bad boy, or girl. It could be a girl too, or it could be it could be an asexual dragon. Who knows? Whatever it is, it's got a small medulla oblongata, and all these teeth, and that's why it's so angry and wants to bite everything. All right. Could you imagine putting a party of adventurers together that are literally each character is based off a different, like, Adam Sandler character?
Oh God.
Right?
That would be crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Having the water boy, having
I call dibs on the Happy Gilmore barbarian.
Happy Gilmore character. That would be hilarious. He's got so many. Like the character from, I want to say it was The Ridiculous Six on Netflix.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
That would be a super funny character to see as a D&D character as well. I don't even know what I would like dub that character. Happy. I feel like the water boy would be, or Bobby Boucher would be like a barbarian who goes into rage mode. And that's why he's able to do what he does. Or maybe a monk. Happy Gilmore, I'd almost say is a fighter, but not a good one, because if Bob Barker is going to kick your butt, there's some issue going on there. So what would be a Adam Sandler character that you would want to see as a D&D character, and what D&D character would it be? I think that's a good one for the chat to participate with us in conversation, because again, we're almost we got 30 people here. There's got to be some good ideas out there for sure, right? Some silliness with old Adam Sandler. You just can't go wrong with some funny characters. Or if there's just a funny character from other pop culture platforms that if you were to make a version of that, like what would be a MacGyver, right? What's a good MacGyver character? How would you build a MacGyver character in D&D? Right? I would probably, I'd almost go with like a rogue potentially, but because they have, or a bard, because they have so many access to different skills that it kind of, to me, it kind of makes sense. But what would you guys, everybody in the chat and everybody, what would you think would make the best MacGyver character? So now I'm taking that white and I'm going over those bony protrusions, literally kind of like just trying to hit those high lines where the bone, it might be a little more rough and clean, if you will, I guess. I may actually need to let this one dry a little bit more, that horn. And the teeth themselves hitting yeah, that actually looks really good. Hit the bony, spiky protrusions here on the back end of the dragon here. Then the claws, hitting just those high points with the white. right? Again, giving some separation, depth, and character to that piece of the model. All right. You know, it's a nice day, a nice Saturday here in central Illinois. It's sunny out. We've had some rain this week. And I live near the city park, and I can hear some sort of like music being played either at a barbecue going on outside or at the park itself at the big pavilion. So that's nice. And that's not sarcasm. That's pretty cool to be able to hear that, you know, people are out enjoying the day. All right. So yeah, getting those bony bits, those spiky clawsies right there. Get those all kind of painted on there. We're gonna actually let that dry a little bit more because the heavier recesses in the horns were still suffering from the shade, the soft tone and the dark shade wash, and then we'll come back and hit these points on the clawy bits on the dragon's wing here. Again, this is just giving a little bit more separation. I need to make a little adjustment to this one piece here. But yeah, again, just reminders, if you haven't yet, make sure that you do go and sign up on the Discord. If you've already got tickets to GaryCon, make sure that you go there and register on the Discord. Even though you have a ticket, you got to register and let them know so they can assign your ticket number to your Discord connection, so that they know that you're, you know, part of the process, you know, part of the community coming into play and stuff next weekend. So make sure you get that done. And oops, just grabbing another brush. There you go. There we go. Yeah, so get in there, get that done. And then go register if you haven't yet for any of the games, because there are a lot of games. I was super surprised at how many people submitted games for the weekend and how many potential play opportunities there are. I think it was like over 2,000.
It was a lot.
Yeah. But I have to admit, I'm running so many games. I'm not going to be able to play in any. I just don't have the time because I'm running 2 4-hour sessions a day. So, because I'm hoping that there'll be that opportunity in the evenings to kind of do the hangout thing in chat with the folks on Discord and, whatever other platforms people are going to be hanging out on. So right now I'm getting, like I said, I'm just hitting these bony bits on here, just kind of like the tips of the bony bits, the spikes. There we go. Yes. I'm trying to think of some other Steamforge announcements, because if we're painting Steamforge, maybe there's some other fun ones that were announced during the Gamma show this past week. I can't remember. Outside of the Epic Encounters, I know that there was some other stuff, but I was really focused on Epic Encounters. But they have, their animal adventure line, so where you can actually play like adventuring cats and dogs, and they have miniatures for that. Have you seen those before?
Yeah, I think I remember. I haven't seen much of them, but I remember seeing the announcement for it.
So they have those. They're super fun. And if you have children that you want to try to get into the hobby, of gaming, RPGs and stuff, it's a really good gateway RPG for kids, because who doesn't want to play a Siamese sorcerer kitten, right? Or a Saint Bernard Ranger. And it's just a cute little concept, and I thought, the models are top tier, so definitely worth taking a look at if you haven't already. And then, of course, they've got Bard Sung, which is still, I think they did a Kickstarter for it. I know they did a Kickstarter for it, but I think that the late pledges are still open if you want to get on it if you didn't. And I know that Luke wrote a scenario for Bard Sung. Luke Gygax did. And on Friday next week, I'll be running a game. I'll be running the Hydra, Cave of the Hydra epic encounter for Luke and some others from Steamforge. And Elisa Teague is in that game as well. And Elisa also wrote a scenario for Bard Sung. So that's kind of a cool connection point. So if you're a fan of Luke and Elisa, it might be worth checking that out as well, so that you can get a copy of their scenarios. And again, the miniatures are just ridiculously good. I mean, come on. Is it wrong that I'm also sitting here thinking about food?
No, never.
Yeah.
I always think about food.
Yeah, because I've been sitting here and I'm like, I know I ate breakfast. I had like a little snack. I had a little cheese and crackers for lunch, and now I'm sitting here going, I probably should have had more. And I'm thinking I'm going to order a pizza tonight, and watch the 4-hour long
Snyder Cut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say this, but I'm going to, watch it again. I already watched it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to watch it again because I feel like I missed some stuff because there was so much going on. The only time I know I didn't miss anything was during the slow motion caption scenes, which there are a few of those. All right. So this little bony bit on the bottom here, I didn't get enough brown or ochre yellow on that spiky bit, so I'm going to hit that again. Here we go. And then let that dry. I think I got all the other spiky bits done. Set that off to the side. Bring back the big dragon. I know. So the big dragon, underneath the dragon, has all this big pile of treasure. But as you look around it, you're going to see that there are some other stuff. So there's a shield right here. Let me grab this. So there's this shield, right? Then there's a, I don't know if you can see it in the camera very well, but underneath the dragon, right where this pointer is a axe and a helmet. And then on this side is a sword up under here and another shield right here. And it looks like a big tankard or something right there. So I'm going to go through and I'm just going to grab some silver and some gunmetal. And I'm going to, so let me get that on my palette. There we go, some silver. And I'm just going to go through and just touch those up on the treasure pile. With a very small brush. Okay, so we got, like I said, we got the shield here. I'm just going to put some silver on it. It's kind of neat because it's already gold and it's got that gold sheen and the silver. It makes me want to think of a song about silver and gold. Yeah. You know, from Rudolph. Silver and gold. Right. Yukon Cornelius. Bumbles bounce. And so, yeah, I'm just going to hit the inner part of the shield on that. I'm going to hit the blade up here on this sword with some silver. So that, again, as you're looking at the model, it's going to have some of those separation points even in the treasure, which gives it, you know, a little bit more character, makes it, you know, makes it yours, right? It's like, oh, there's something different than what maybe someone else had done. You know, because, you know, there are those individuals that love playing the game, but they don't like to paint miniatures, or they, you know, they're not good at it and they don't want to continue to paint. So they want to play out the box. So, which again is fine. And I think that's one of the great things about the Steamforged line is you can play these right out of the box because they are color coded. You know, the dragon is red, the giant is a blue, the orcs are blue, the goblins are green. It's a really neat thing to do, to have the color, the plastic, the color of the creatures that you're going to be playing, so that there is that. And one of the things I would do is, like, if you aren't a painter and you don't want to like do detailed work or anything like that, one of the things you can do is you can do it two ways. You can either do the matte coat varnish, which is, you know, the clear coat, and then just go through and do a wash, so it gives it some separation and depth. Then you don't have to paint it. But they look good, right? They have a little more depth to it than just the plastic. And then maybe someday you'll come back and do some detail work on it. But, you know, you don't have to. But that's something you can do to give it a little bit more spice, if you will, on the model. And you don't have to be a good painter. You just have to be able to slosh on some wash, a dark wash or whatever, and it's good to go. All right, so I think now that I'm looking around the model here there's always something hidden. They did such a good job sculpting these that as you look, you'll always find another hidden bit. So there's like another little sword blade in the hilt sticking out down here. So we'll hit that one. That's pretty funny. And the other thing too is you could go through this and hit some of the coins and make them silver instead of it just being a big pile of gold, which isn't a bad idea. But, you know, I think this particular dragon would be like, silver, we'll give that to the minions. I only want gold in my treasure hoard. The minions can take the silver and share it, buy things, and be better weapon. I have better weapons to kill the adventurers that want to come from my horde. Right. All right. Now that, again, I'm just doing one more like pass around the model to see if there is anything else that is like a sword or a helmet or a shield or some other, like, now that I look at it, this thing right here is like the head of a rounded warhammer. It's got the flat ends and then spikes on it. So, and then again, I don't know if you, yeah, you guys can see it, if only barely. So there we go. A little there, boom, boom, boom. Nice. And yeah, the axe head up under there. Got to get that better. There we go. And I think that's it on the treasure. Oh, wait. Dang it. There's all, like I said, they always pop out. There's another, like a half shield looking thing under here too. That looks cool now that I see it. All right. That's it. I'm not even gonna look anymore.
The more you look, the more you will find.
Yes, and I don't want that. No. But what I am going to do is I'm going to clean off this particular brush, and I'm going to take this red, and then I'm going to go around the model and look at some areas where I think having a bright that cleaner
Ooh,
red.
World Anvil with the raid.
Oh, hey, World Anvil, thank you so much. And everybody, welcome. Welcome to the Road to Gary Con. This is the painting session where I'm painting the Epic Encounters Red Dragon from the Lair of the Red Dragon box by Steamforged Games. Go ahead and show you all that. I am Tabletop Santa, and I'll be running this and the other 5 boxes during Gary Con. So if you are going to be a participant in the Gary Con, check out some of the Epic Encounters games, because I am running them and I would love to play with everyone. It'll be a blast. But yeah, so we're just painting this red dragon. If you have any questions, let me know. I will be more than happy to answer like the process of how we got to where we're at with this. I will admit I might have taken on some advice that could literally be cheating. In that because the model is red plastic, I didn't paint it with full red paint. I just clear coated varnish on it and then did a wash, and now I'm just doing some highlights and detail work on it because it's already red. But on these higher, flatter surfaces, scales around down the back of the dragon, I want to put some. I'm going to put a little bit more red on those just to give it a little bit more cleaner look. So let's see if I'm missing anything. We'll have our first game of the day with Luke Gygax playing the Melf, the Elf, the creator of Melf's Acid Arrow. Melf the Elf. And for everybody that's following, thank you so much. Super appreciated. So yeah, after this episode of mini painting with me, Tabletop Santa, up next will be Heroes of Doom with the GM being Todd Kenrick, and Luke Gygax is playing in that game, and many other amazing RPers. And then after that, later this evening, is part 3 to the Search for Gaxmore with the GM being Jason Charles Miller and his crew, which I have now dubbed the Wild Bunch. Again, another group of amazing RPers that are doing great things. And you should definitely tune in later as well. And if you haven't gotten your tickets, go to Gary Con's website to get tickets to the event next weekend. Go to the Discord, become part of the community, follow us on all social media platforms, to include TikTok. If you're on TikTok, we're Gary Con Official. Yeah, so we're everywhere. We're a community, and we want you as part of our community. And like I said, if you have any questions about minis, if you want to tell me what mini you're painting right now, if you paint minis, or tell us about your character. Tell us about everything. What's your favorite part of the hobby? I want to know it all. I'm curious. And you're probably wondering, where are the wings on this dragon? So in the Epic Encounters line, the red dragon is the only miniature right now that has some assembly, and the wings are part of that, are that assembly point. So I will set the dragon down just for a second to show you the wings. So yeah, I've got them off to the side here, but when the dragon is totally put together, this is a very, very large model. And let me see if I'll pick it up and add the wings real quick and then show you in the forward-facing camera instead of the overhead. Just gonna do a minor insertion there. There we go. So this is the dragon in its full glory. It is quite large. And as for size comparison, here's a paint bottle, which is a little, taller than an actual miniature. One of the other creatures in the epic encounters is the Hydra here, which is just crazy cool. I've really enjoyed painting this one. And then there's the Frost Giant, which is super tall. But yeah, so that's what it looks like with the wings on. It's a big model. It's fun. And you can get all these obviously through Steamforged or at your friendly local game store. So yeah. Nice wingspan. She's some dragon. I agree. She is some dragon. And we need a name. We need to get a name for this dragon as well, because it's an unnamed dragon in the box. So you can give it any name you want. So I need you all to help me come up with a name. You can't phone type. Ruby? That's a good name because of the color and everything for sure. So Ruby. Any other suggestions? Or if there's if you want to vote for the same name, say I second Ruby or third Ruby. Definitely. Dazzle Cat. That's a cool name. Granted, that's not for the dragon. That's just that screen name. That's a cool handle. Dazzle Cat. I am a Mouse 314. I did cheat, because I just let the model color be the base coat. But I think it was a good choice, if you will, because in 2 hours that would have been a much more unengaging episode, if you will, of painting. If I had to just sit here and just paint all that red and not get into like what I did to the face here. What's the 4 hours a day for our European community? Oh my Lord. Do you prefer something long and grand sounding? Rosorian is great. But this is your dragon. This is the community dragon. This will be, this is the name of the dragon I'll call it in next weekend's encounter with whoever signs up to play in it. That's the name that I'll give the dragon. So it's whatever you all want it to be named. I don't mind Ruby. It could be anything. But I want you all to name it, and then go sign up and play in the adventure so that I could kill your characters. I mean, have fun playing D&D with you guys.
Freudian slip.
I know it always seems to happen. Right? It's like
it's like I would never kill player characters. The bad guys might, but I don't.
Exactly. I am not in the business of killing PCs, even in one-shots.
Mm-hmm.
However, the Assassin's Guild is absolutely in that business.
and they are definitely going to do it. Killing is their business, and business is good.
Exactly. See, I love this model look. Thank you so much, Lord. Steamforged makes so much good stuff, even without the wings. Yeah, even without the wings, you could take some green stuff and patch the insertion points for the wings, and then you could file it down and then paint over it, and prime it and paint it. And I think that would be a really cool, like a giant version of a fire lizard. Not that'd be sick. I am, dang it, now I almost want to get another box just to do that. And then I would actually paint the treasure pile to make it look more like rock or lava than an actual treasure pile. That would be sick. Okay. So yeah, right now all I'm really doing is going through doing some edge work and highlights to give the model a little bit more separation and depth and over those high points with some cleaner red so that it doesn't look completely like dirty from the wash. So that even at 3 foot away on the table, you're going to see that. And I also want to, ask what color eyes do you think this dragon should have? I don't want them to be red. I'm thinking maybe something a little bit more vibrant and bright. What do we got? Gelavag for the game. Hitrix Flame Growler. Heatrix Flame Growler. That's cool. Hestia, inspired by above. Hestia is good too. Telebraxia. Purple eyes. Okay. Yeah, purple's fine. I'll do that. All right. So we've got a bunch of name options. There's some really good ones. Yeah. So if you have, I will admit, Galavan and Heatrix Flame Growler are pretty cool. I don't know if I would add the Flame Growler part of it. Heatrix is a really cool name. It has and Gelava is too. I mean, they're all great names. Hezorian is really good. Again, Ruby is good too. So, bows. All right, so I've done a lot of the flatter surface and the edge lining with the red, so I think I'm pretty good on that. Also, a little touch-ups where maybe some of that ochre yellow might have gotten a little out of hand. So I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to try some more white on some of those spots where I was having some issues because of the fact that the wash hadn't completely dried yet. So take this. We're going to do some on the horns here, the big horn and the face. We kind of did it on the wings already, so I think the wings look really good. So now we're just hitting those high points on the horns, which looks great. Yeah, absolutely. All the names are great. I really like, Galavan is a cool name. So let's go with, let's take Razorian, Galavan, Heatrix, Hestia, I can't read that other one, Lalabraxia, or Talabraxia. Talabraxia is good too. Let's get some, let's narrow it down. Get some votes on I second that one, I third that one. Which one's popping up to you, Jeff?
All of them.
Dang, I know you kind of want to be politically correct in that you're just they're all great, and they are, and that's not just being politically correct. They are great names, and it almost is like I should be writing them down because I will be needing names for other dragons in my campaign.
That's true.
Because I run a campaign called Legend of the Stormcrest, which is a high seas adventure. And with all the dragons I now have from WizKids and Steamforged and everything, I'm putting together a huge Dragon Council event where the heroes are going to be, well, I hope none of them are here. Where the heroes are going to have to go before the Dragon Council because they are, not because of what they have done, but what they need to do, because on my world, even though it's a high seas adventure in a lot of capacity, it's also an Arctic adventure because half of the world is under a ice age, right? But the ice age is magical and is now starting to melt, and so with that will come some stuff, right?
Right.
You've got what civilizations were trapped in the ice age because it was a magical event, and now that it's being released, what threats might be coming with that. What if there were dragons that were flash frozen, are they going to come out of there dead, or are they going to be something different, right? And the Dragon Council is like, yeah, we don't like those things, so we want you to assist us in eliminating them, because there is a natural order to things, and that is not natural, if you get in my drift.
Right. which just something just came to mind. You know what Steamforge needs to make and put out?
What's that?
A huge dragon turtle mini.
I think everybody needs to make a huge dragon turtle mini.
I agree.
I love dragon turtles. They are so cool. But yeah, it needs to be huge. Like another like model where you have to put together where the shell is a separate piece and it comes over the body, and maybe the head then slides in, right? Or whatever. But it needs to be like a 16-inch pizza size. It needs to be monstrous.
Oh yeah, it has to be massive, considering they're basically like islands.
Yeah, I'd almost make it so that you could take half of the shell or whatever off, and then so you could set up like a combat scenario. Like let's say there's a tribe of whatever, like Kuatoa on the Dragon Turtle Island, and you could use it as an encounter base as well. I think that'd be super neat. That'd be a lot of plastic, but
it would be. But oh man, I would get it.
Right? It's almost like, yeah, who cares? Plastic, whatever. All right, so that is pretty good. Now I just got to hit those eyes, and I'm going to take that white paint, mix it a little bit more with the red to give it a more. I want that pink, fleshy look now, because you know how with dragons and lizards and stuff, they always have that that flesh bit that's in the mouth line at the back of the jaw. You know what I'm talking about, Jeff?
Mm-hmm.
So this has that. So I want to give that separation there as well with that mouth, that fleshy bits that are there, and also the tongue. I think the tongue needs to be maybe pinkish, or maybe even a dark purple tongue, because that just sounds like something a lizard would have, right? So yeah, there's this fleshy bit in the mouth gap right there on both sides. So we hit that with that pink flesh color right there. That looks good. And then, yeah, I'm going to hit the tongue with that pinky flesh color as well. And then I'm also going to give it some edging in that dark purple, the same color as the eyes, I think. Here we go. Cool. All right, so we got that in there. So that looks all right. Pull the shell off and roll dice inside. Oh yeah, that'd be cool too. Yeah, make it a dice roller. Heck yeah. Hey, Penny Dragon TV. I'm sorry, I just saw you there. Brimblaze, Queensbane, aka Barbecue. Dag nabbit. Burns the hearts of kings by cooking their queens. That is so good. That is excellent. Burns the hearts of kings by cooking their queens. And they literally just call it barbecue. Barbecue's on the rampage. That is awesome. So I need a purple. Let me see. I have. Yeah. So I have this Vallejo. Let me put it under here. It's the Vallejo Shifters. It's old gold, gray, violet. But as you can tell, it's super purple. But when you shift it back and forth like that, it goes from like that purple to a little bit of a gold in the paint color, right? So I'm going to use that on the eyes, and then I'll come back with a different purple for the tongue. So that's, man, yay. How exciting. I like that.
Mhm.
I'm easily entertained. All right, here we go. Get a fine. I wish I had. I don't think I have them here with me right now. Um, they might be in my other toolbox, but I have some Games and Gears brushes that are really good for eyes, and one of them is called the Katana, and it's like got a silicone tip, so you don't have to like try to get it as sharp and whatever as possible. You just dip it and hit it, and it's like, yeah. All right, so I don't like painting eyes normally. I try to figure out ways to avoid it at all costs. So we're going, you know what? Because that is super small, I'm going to pull out my my sexy glasses. So be prepared, everybody. You get to see this. There we go. Oops, that needs to be cleaned off a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Put on my C closers. These are my C closer glasses. All right. There we go. And see here. I got to get really into here. But it makes it so much easier to get in there and get those eyes. And the thing with the shifter paints, what I'm going to have to do is let it dry and hit it again. Because the shifters are almost of a similar consistency as like a wash, because it's so liquidy. But I'm just trying to get it to leach into that space. But that looks pretty cool. I don't know how well you can see it in there, but there is that purple in the eye. And then after it dries, I'll hit it again, and then I'll go back and I'll touch it up along the edges with the reds again, so that it is just the eye that is that purple. But I think once it's all said and done, that's going to look really neat. I think I want to put a little bit more on this other side of the model. Okay. There we go. Yep. Boom. All right. Oh, that does look good from a distance. 3 feet. Love it. It's my favorite distance for miniatures. 3 feet away.
Rule.
3 foot rule. Looks great. Hey, Sable, thank you so much for the compliment. I think it does look really good. And like I said, my technique for this model today was because it is already red plastic, so you can see on the connector bit here, this is what it really looked like. Right, so it wasn't like washed. So all I did was I primed it with a clear matte varnish primer that I got from the Citadel primer line, and then I went over it with a dark tone, which is a wash by the Army Painter, to get in all the cracks and crevices of the detail work of the model. Then I also did that on the pile of gold below it, because the gold was already gold anyway. So why repaint that, right? For someone that wants to get something, if you're someone that wants to get something done and table worthy by the weekend, let's say this is what you want to run your party through in a short time. You don't have to go to great lengths to make an amazing looking model, because if it's already 95% done, you're just doing some fun detail and work on it, and it looks great. So yeah, I am not upset with this model at all, and I look forward to the party that's going to be destroyed. It looks like that we didn't get in like double votes on or anything. So I'm guessing it's. So here's the thing. Brimblaze Greensbane is really fun, and I think that's a fun name. But I'm gonna go with your original one, Heatrix or Heatrix. I think that's really cool. But it's gonna be Heatrix. Because I want to use Ruby, and I want to see. There there was another one that was kind of dropped. And I'm going to go Ruby Razorian. It's going to be Heatrix Ruby Razorian. So it's got three people's content there. It's going to be Heatrix Ruby Razorian. And they're just an angry red dragon that just wants to eat everybody. I mean, everything. Yeah. Yeah, and this, I think it looks great. So I'm gonna go ahead and move this out of the way because, to tell you the truth, outside of like just once the eyes dry and hitting them again, I think it's just the purple on the tongue I need to hit. Let me grab that because I was about to just like put the wings in it and let you guys see it in full glory now, but let me. Oh, there we go. We're going to use Warlord Purple from the Game Color line. So some Warlord Purple for an accent color on the tongue. Oops, I got to shake it up. Sorry. Nom, nom, nom. Yeah, this thing is going to be eating adventures. So I will say this on Friday. I think I'm the first stream Friday with Luke. Richard August, who works for Steamforged and did he's the one who wrote all the Epic Encounters boxes. And then there's Elisa Teague, who is an industry icon when it comes to like, writing D&D modules, designing games like Geek Out. And she was behind the Widow's Walk expansion for House at the Trail on the Hill. She also worked heavily, if not, I think she fully designed the Disney, the Talisman game that is something Hearts. What is it called? I can't remember. It's like half anime, half Disney. Man, it's gonna kill me because I've interviewed her like 3 times about that particular game. Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts Talisman. She was the designer behind that, and a plethora of others that have. So now I'm just going to go real quick and put this other purple as a accent along the edge of the tongue on both sides. This Warlord Purple. Again, just to give it a little, like if someone did want to take a closer look at the model, they would see that there is some difference in the tongue. It's not just a solid pink flesh look thing. And then, yeah, that looks pretty good. So we got that. And I think I'm going to do something else. There's like, I have like a fireburst orange or yellow. It's gold yellow. I don't want that. Which one's this? Oh, that's the ink. I don't want the ink. There it is. No. Orange Fire. Orange Fire by Game Color. So I'm going to take that. I don't need a lot of it. That might actually be enough. And I'm going to, so in the mouth, I'm going to put that in the back of the throat. And then I'm going to, once that dries, I'll put a little yellow, like a bright yellow in the center, like an iris, and then a little bit of white to kind of show like it's getting the fire is like starting to rise up in its throat before our good Heatrix Ruby Razorian lets loose that amazing breath weapon on the party. Sorry, that was out of frame. But yeah, so putting that yellow in there, or the orange, and then after that dries, I'll put a yellow circle and smaller, and then a small little bit of white to kind of give that impression that fire is welling up in the mouth and ready to like kill them all. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts. That was what it was. Okay. But yeah, so Elisa's had her hands in a ton of stuff. So, and she's currently working with a company called Renegade Game Studios as the head of RPG design, working on such things as the Power Rangers role playing game, which is kind of neat. All right, so we're going to pop these wings in. Right. Here we go. This one on this side, for some reason, is a little tricky, and it doesn't go in quite all the way. I've been fighting with it the entire time with this model. There we go. So there is a little bit of gapping in this one. I think what I might need to do is put this wing in the freezer and then put some hot water and use a tool to expand the main peg portion for that one, and then connect it that way. But yeah, so there it is, wings together, wings on it, and I'm going to bring it up to the front-facing camera here, so you can see it even more. And there she is, ready to destroy many multitudes of adventuring parties, to include villages, castles, random towers, and ancient ruins. So stand by for Heatrix Ruby Razorian, Destroyer of Realms. I'll just put her back on the table there. Yeah, so that was super fun. Now that I look at it, I see a point that I missed. So we'll put a little more white on here, because there's always going to be that. There's those little touch-ups and things that you miss as you're painting. So, and it's right here on the wing tip, on this piece right here. You just want to put a little white on there, good to go. And just so y'all know, coming up after this is the Heroes of Doom with Todd Kenrick as the GM. Luke Gygax is playing, and then there's a bunch of other amazing RP role-playing folk participating in that. I don't know, to tell you the truth, I don't know any of the other folks, so I don't want to butcher their names or speak out of place. So, but I am pretty sure it's going to be an amazing stream. And then there's an hour break after that. And then it come back for the Search for Gaxmore, which is a part 3 to the Road to GaryCon adventure that they've been having a lot of fun with.
I believe it's the final one too, isn't it?
Yeah, it should be the final one. They should arrive so that at GaryCon next weekend, they're at Gaxmore, and they'll be running the characters through the actual. Speaking of which, I think I have my is it down here on the floor? I do have some Gaxmore stuff sitting near me here, I thought. Yeah, there it is. So I'll show that off as well, which is by Troll Lord Games is the publisher. So here it is, the Lost City of Gaxmore, the 5th edition RP role-playing compatible game. So yeah, it's right there, and so you can watch them delve into the lost ruins next weekend during GaryCon, and the wild bunch of players that are participating in that particular game is just out of this world and should be a lot of fun to watch. So make sure you do that. Again, if you have not yet signed up for GaryCon, go to the GaryCon website, get your tickets, then go to the Discord and register yourself as a ticket holder and part of the convention event, and be part of the community, because even after the con, the Discord has always got something going on. If it's a Luke's Lounge or Luke's Fireside Chat, or just people looking for other players to play games with, it's a really nice community to be a part of. And it's also make sure you go to all the other social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Follow Gary Kahn on all of those as well, so that you aren't missing out on some of the tomfoolery that takes place, and of course any announcements that come out from Gary Kahn in regards to the convention or their brand partners. Like today, we were powered by Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. Make sure to go and download the app or off Steam and play it now, because they got some new cool skins for Melf and many others in there. So you can play a lot of fun characters in that game. And if you're lucky, you won't die. It's a really fun game. And then, of course, today's miniature is from the Epic Encounters box set by Steamforged Games, The Lair of the Red Dragon. This is like I said, this is a big box because it's holding that big miniature, but it comes with a lot more stuff inside there for this encounter box. Some tokens, double-sided mat, playbook, and lots of good guides and hints on how to make your adventures a little bit more suspenseful and just fun for everybody. So, do you have any other things that we need to announce? Because I think it's coming up on time, right?
We got about
10 minutes?
About 10 more minutes or so.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you had any other announcements you needed to on your list to talk about, because I will say when we opened up before we went live, there were some great commercials in that stream. I was like, first they had the Epic Encounters for the orcs, the Orc Chieftain box, and then what was it? Anvil, what was it? Anvil World or World Anvil?
World Anvil, yeah.
World Anvil's commercial was sick. I was like, oh my God. So, make sure you're checking out World Anvil. It was cool. I was like, oh my God, there's so much good stuff going on. So, the partnerships that have been fostered for this as far as like sponsors and stuff, it's ridiculous. You got Vorpal Board, you've got GUI Cube, Steamforged, Idle Champions, World Anvil, and I don't even know them all. There's a lot. So all the good stuff. What's up, Sable Aradia? That's a cool GIF. What is that? Is that just a fireball? Yes.
Yeah, it looks like a fire with an anvil in it. It's from the World Anvil Twitch page.
Is it the World Anvil?
Mm-hmm.
That's the World Anvil. Okay. I should have kept on my my spectacles of close seeing, so I could see it better. That's super awesome. Yeah. So the dragon is done. I don't think outside of the eyes, I really want to put any more work into it, because I think at 3 feet away, this dragon is going to scare the bejesus out of any of the players that happen to come across it. So, and so how cool is that? I was actually able to technically finish a model in one 2-hour session, and I'm not upset with it. So it's it's going to eat so many adventurers next weekend. Mm-hmm. At least 6. I mean, that's how many get to play in the session. So at least 6 will be eaten.
It's like, I will now devour your soul.
Exactly. So that should be fun. So that's what I could talk about here in the last few minutes is the adventure book for this particular one. It allows you to play the dragon, the boss monster, at 3 different critical CR ratings, and as the CR ratings obviously go up, they become a little. They get some extra power. So as a challenge rating 10 It's considered a young red dragon, and of course it has its multi-attack, bite, claw, fire breath. As one would expect. As an adult red dragon, which is the CR17, I think it has ancient as well. So adult red dragon CR17, it gets detect, tail attack, wing attack, multi-attack, bite, claw, tail, frightful presence, fire breath, legendary resistance, and then the ancient dragon as a CR24, which is what I would love to run it at, but I am not going to run it at a CR24, even though that would be like a superhero event. It has all those as well, but everything's like bumped up significantly. So multi-attack, bite. The bite is just an average of 21 hit points, but it has a plus 17 to hit.
Good Lord.
Yeah, plus 17. I mean, you're not missing with this dragon.
Only 5% of the time.
Right. And then frightful presence. Each creature of the dragon's choice that is within 120 feet of the dragon and aware of it must succeed on a DC 21 wisdom saving throw or become frightened for 1 minute. That is awesome.
Oh, jeez.
I'd be using the heck out of that.
Run away.
Yep. So on the back of the box, you can see what the dragon looks like unpainted. Right?
A 2-minute warning.
Okay, 2-minute warning. Great. And then now here she is. Heachix Ruby Rosarian, fully painted to a good look. I think she's gonna have a lot of fun killing stuff. Again, coming up next, Heroes of Doom with Todd Kenrick and Luke Gygax as one of the players, and many other amazing players. And then following that is the Search for Gaxmore Part 3, all part of the Road to GaryCon with GM Jason Charles Miller and the Wild Bunch. They did not be called the Wild Bunch, but I have called them the Wild Bunch. Hey, Coven MTG, Seth, if that's you, it's good to see you, my friend.
Oh, it's Seth.
Is it?
It's Seth.
Awesome. Thank you for joining and jumping in. Hey. I enjoyed your lecture at Gamma, by the way. It was really cool. And if you're gonna be at Gamma on Tuesday, let's stop by and say hello, because I'll be walking around acting a fool, as one does. Again, follow GaryCon on all social medias. I know I'm like a broken record about it, but it is a community that I think everybody should be a part of, and you should be a part of it if you aren't already. And it's on everything, to include TikTok. And I keep saying that because I manage the TikTok account, and I want you to see the silliness I'm going to be making, and I have already made on there.
All right. On that note, we will say goodbye to everyone and get things ready for the upcoming game.
All right. See y'all next time, or this weekend coming up.
Right. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.